are back. We are back like we never left. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to today's episode. And today we are going to talk about Mexico versus South Africa. And personally, me being a Ghanaian and the things that are happening in South Africa to certain African countries, ladies and gentlemen, I 100% support Mexico. Also, we'll be talking about certain countries, they are dripping to the World Cup. So if you love this kind of content, let me stop talking and you get subscribing and let's move. Let's kick off with Mexico versus South Africa. And like I said, a lot of things went on. Bafana didn't see top. In fact, Bafana, which happens to be South Africa, they were in yellow uniform, and then Mexico was in green. When the match started, the first goal, I personally think it is the fault of the goalkeeper. I don't know about you, but let me know what you think in the comments. The second goal was a good header. If you see how the player head the ball inside, you're not going to see they really mean business. South Africa conceived 2 separate red cards, and then Mexico had 1 red card. So a total of 3 red cards in the recently ended match. We are rooting for South Africa to be back home.
Go back to your countries. We are tired of you guys.
But the most important part of this whole conversation is, let me know what you think about the match in the comments. Moving on. All right, so let's continue with how country teams arrived for the World Cup. And everyone, for me, decided to arrive in their grand styling. Let me kick off by starting with the smallest country to ever qualify for the World Cup, and that is Curacao. Now, they are the smallest nation to ever qualify for a World Cup. And boy, they left their country in style. You know that kind of car we call the I Know glass. Those days when we, the living legends, were traveling from one place to another, we had this vehicle, we call it I Know glass, or people call it Arrow glass. This particular car, that is what these people decided to brand it in their flag colors. No air conditioning, no luxury. This is how they departed from their country. They mean business. And the most interesting part is they are in the group E. And when you compare the teams they are going to battle with, ladies and gentlemen, Germany, Ivory Coast, Ecuador, and then we have the Carousel. And when you look at the population of the nation competing with another nation, Charlie, it go bust my mind if this particular country really go far in the World Cup. Because, hey,
Go back to your countries. We are tired of you guys.
let's move on to the next team, which happens to be Turkey. And ladies and gentlemen, these people, this is the longest convoy I've ever seen in my life. They had this convoy with Turkey flag all over their bonnet, followed their team bus to the airport. If the World Cup should just be given to people who really went off in style, Turkey would have taken it. All right, so let's talk about Brazil. And for Brazil, we all know Brazil had legends when it comes to the World Cup. I won't mention much, but then they decided to allow their plane to be baptized. This signifies victory, safe transport. I mean, they understand what they are doing. Now let's talk about Norway. Ladies and gentlemen, they decided to dress as Vikings and then take some group photos. And if you look at how Haaland was dressed up, god damn it, they posted the pictures and tagged it and said, Norway is coming. My people, stand well. Well, as the Netherlands, they decided to dress up as distinguished gentlemen. Ladies and gentlemen, all suit, no fancy, no giddy beer, they just rapping. And then for my fellow people, Nigeria, they decided, Nigeria is not part. Sorry. This is to all Nigerians watching. Moving on, let's talk about Senegal. They decided to have a presidential dinner with the president on a pitch before they left. This is what we call the last supper, the last dinner, the last aduane. You better bring home the World Cup. And then Portugal decided to go all out and then brand their plane and write on it Portugal. Portugal. They are coming. So let's talk about Argentina. They decided to change their flight number to 1978. I think that was one of the years they really performed at the World Cup. And then also they decided to rebrand their plane to the Argentina colors, and then also the tail section to Anna Mess. Meanwhile, South Africa, that was beaten yesterday, almost missed the World Cup because of visa issues. And ladies and gentlemen, we are back to our country.
Go back to your countries. We are tired of you guys.
Fortunately for them, before they could even get visas and go to the World Cup, well, they spoke to Ghana, and I mean, you know that Charlie, when our president do some magic for them. I'm kidding, but ladies and gentlemen, they managed to get there, and yesterday they were beaten. All right, so talking about visa issue, let's talk about Iran. Iran, you know Iran. Now, during their last celebration before the team departs, the crowd was chanting, "Death to America, death to..." God damn it, why would you? Is it only Americans that are going to watch the football? Iran, be careful. All right, so wrapping up, let's talk about Ghana. And ladies and gentlemen, Ghana didn't do much. We decided to just rep in Cadiz. We are back. The Black Stars has given us a lot of broken hearts already, but damn, that is our team. Those are our boys. We did them up back. We did them up front, like number plate, back and front. Subscribe to the channel. See you on the next episode.